Traditional clothing is very beautiful, but not many people know much about it anymore, so I'm explaining it to you all. This is part 10, and it's about a kaper or the bubberkaper, which was this kind of hat that was worn in several areas in the Netherlands. It is also sometimes called a hersenlap or brain rag. Kaper can be two things. Either it's like a very warm hat made of wool, a type of wool called sayet that is not found in the Netherlands anymore, or you have a stiff kind of cap. And like this one here, it's more of a hood with like a border which is made of silk, and then the other parts are a different sort of material. Could stay into shape due to things like cardboard and other materials. So here you obviously, like I just said, you have the border with silk, but sometimes it's lined with materials like felt or something to make sure that it stays warm. And this version of the kaper was worn all throughout the Netherlands, well, not all throughout the Netherlands, but in like several other areas. One of the places where it kept fashionable, sort of, basically it stayed the longest, was in the Zaanstreek, around Zaandam, those kind of areas, and in Wieringen, which you can see right behind me. There was used for morning wear. And they would wear, usually, not here behind me in Wieringen, but in other areas, they would wear the ondermuts, so the undercap, and their oorijzers, so the ear irons, and the kaper on top of it. Then you have the woolen version of the kaper, which was in general mostly worn by girls until the age of 14, but depending on the region it was also worn by women. Now obviously these were worn during wintertime, and like I said before, these were made from the sayet wool. As you can imagine, with the icy cold, wind and everything, it keeps you really nice and warm. Sometimes the versions, like you can see right here, they have some pompons, but you could find these all throughout the Netherlands, from Zuid-Beveland to Volendam and so on. Now the most common colors are black and blue, and there were some small variations between regions, but it wasn't that grand. Now for instance in Volendam, you see that there's something at the top, like that is something that was typical from Volendam. Now the woolen versions of the kaper have been worn since around the 1860s until like into the 20th century, but the bigger versions with fabrics like silk, etc., they have been worn way earlier than that.